This is my first time recording a video for The Naked Truth, and after meeting you at VidCon, Trisha, I thought I'd like to get involved and interact with the rest of the Naked Army, as you call them. This was a really interesting topic to me. I've been in a few relationships over my life, and a lot of them have actually been long distance. Very few times since college have I actually been in the same state as somebody I was dating at that point in time. And this video brought up some really good points that I wish I would have known then, that I heard you guys discuss in the video. The RAD, relationship check-in days, are such a good idea. It helps you to discuss information without the pressure of ending a relationship or pressure of an argument that might be happening at that time. Being able to freely discuss where you're at, how you're feeling, how the other person's feeling, making sure you're all on the same page is a really good idea. And I probably could have done a little bit more of that, or probably used a little bit more of that in a relationship. Asking those generic questions to keep trying to find out somebody. A lot of times a relationship does get stale and feel stale after a while, and it usually does come when you feel like, oh, I already know everything about this person. I know what they're thinking, I know what they're feeling, I know absolutely everything there is to know about them. But that's not true. Just as much as you wish that they would ask you questions about yourself, they want you to ask them questions too, and it's in that dialogue that you continue to grow together, and that you continue to discover these new things that, you know, hopefully help make you fall more in love with somebody as opposed to, you know, falling out of love with them. I cannot handle a relationship where you're not exclusive with each other. I already know that about myself. I always communicate that clearly. There's only been one time where I was in a relationship and I was the one that was being exclusive, but the person I was dating was not being exclusive, and that was really hard and really stressful, and it just really wreaked havoc on the inside of me, and I'm glad that that relationship ended. Now, not back then, because I really did care about this person so much, but I don't understand how people can just be open and free like that, but I realize not everything is the same for all people at all times. So if somebody can handle that, and a couple can handle that, and their relationship's at that point, good for them, I guess. That's just definitely not something for me. The first opening points about being honest and having clear communication with each other is something that isn't just for long distance relationships. That is completely for something that is needed in all relationships. I mean, I can't imagine being with somebody who you don't feel safe with, or you don't trust, or you don't feel you can be vulnerable to. How even more so with not being in the same room, in the same area with somebody. There's a friend of mine who is engaged, and her fiance lives outside of the country, and every night they get together for at least 1 hour just to talk to each other and keep being honest and open. And they do have date nights, I think it's only once a week right now, where they do spend that time in those hours with each other, and it is usually Skype, or sometimes they'll play a game together. My perfect long distance relationship is I would be with somebody and she'd want to play the same type of video games I do, at least just to be online with each other and interact with each other, because that's a really fun way to bond and connect and share humor and give each other something to talk about, you know. Was I good at long distance relationships? I was okay at long distance relationships. I had a hard time trusting somebody so far away. The one time I was really good in a long distance relationship was because my girlfriend and I had been dating for a few months before I went off to undergrad. After that relationship ended and I was in another long distance relationship, the trust was really hard to start building and to start getting in the right direction. There were certain circumstances and certain things happening that made it very difficult for me to trust her. So having a strong communication, I know, is very important. Like we said earlier, being open, being honest is very important to do in a relationship. I can definitely attest to that. My advice, besides just talking to each other, is also to spend that time apart, because like you guys said earlier, you can just spend too much time just waiting on the other person and limiting the other person, and then in return you're limiting yourself. So making sure you're still developing your own life, your own hobbies, your own interests, continuing to go out and live in your world, even if that world is away from the person that you're dating, is very important to do. Maintaining your self-identity even as you grow in a relationship with another person is extremely important. Yeah, that's about all I got right now for Naked Truth on long-distance relationships. This is definitely an interesting experience, and I look forward to doing this more and being more interactive with your videos.